is light language, right?
Yeah, what
Yes.
exactly is light language, and how do you define it to someone else who has never heard of light language?
Right, right. I know that's very difficult in the very beginning to explain exactly what it is. So light language or soul language is a universal communication of consciousness that is connected to all that is in existence. Okay. So anything that has energy is attached to this consciousness, anything in creation. So we have the ability to channel through the consciousness everything that is in alignment with the consciousness. Okay. So that means it could be, you could channel otherworldly beings, cosmic family. You can channel stars energy. You can channel insects, plants, birds, whatever's in the consciousness. So anything in creation is attached to the consciousness or the universal consciousness. And we have the ability to access that communication by matching the vibration or the density of those energies. And then we bring it through channel. So a lot of people that start their journey, say with Reiki or healing modality, it kind of opens them up to this. Or people I know that I've activated recently are in spinal energetics. I don't know if you've heard of that, but a lot of people are really coming online. Light language is kind of coming forth for them, and they're like, what is happening to me? Right. And so, but it will elevate, it's your communication to self too, as well, your actual soul language. But all it is energy and frequency, and everyone has access to it. So if you explain to somebody that it's consciousness of energy that everybody is aligned to, and it does different things. It depends on your intent. So if you're looking for healing, then you can use it to heal yourself and others with intent. And it brings forth the necessary frequency to help align your energy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Some people call it the language of love, right?
Yeah.
But
Holistic
everyone
healing
has this
modality.
connection. We're all connected. And to me, it's just our connection to source. It's consciousness.
Hey,
It's
T.
just a matter of whether you choose to use it.
Yeah, or access it. And everybody has the ability by going inward to connect with it.
Absolutely.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Carissa.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Welcome.
Jasmine. Di ka pa alisuto.
We would love the shares if you feel guided to share.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, you become your own tuning fork,
Yeah.
your own sounding board, or sounding bowl. You become that with opening up the channel, and there's different densities of energy. And so we pull from those different densities. Right now we're elevating, and that's why light language is becoming more online right now, because we're moving up the ladder, so to speak. And so we're accessing higher dimensional realms and bringing that forth for healing. Yeah. And cosmic connection. And they're saying, and, being able to communicate to these higher realms.
Oh, that's a good one to get out of the way. Dana said, is the same as speaking in tongues from back in the day? They're similar, but not. It's all with intent.
Yeah.
It is the same, but it's with intent. That had a negative annotation to it.
It just has nothing to do with religion.
It has not. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it is technically the same. You are channeling.
I consider it, yeah, exactly. Different flavors of the same idea.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, absolutely. Speaking in tongues could be considered like using light language. It's like Seth said, pretty much the same idea, but without the religious entanglement.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I feel that there's some stigmas with speaking in tongues because it does have that religious entanglement.
Exactly.
Some fear in that. And there can also be an idea of exclusivity with that.
Right.
And I am not a super religious person, so I don't want to speak on that and be incorrect, but it feels almost as though it's presented that certain people can use it, that they have to reach a certain level to use it. Yeah. But the reality is that every single one of us can connect with our light language.
Yep.
if we so choose.
So Robert says speaking in tongues is a message that is usually translated to a group in church, which relays into what you were saying, Tina.
Yeah.
Whereas it's usually one person with a higher responsibility than everybody else given the task to translate. Whereas with light language, you make your own translations. It's open
Yep.
to everybody. There's no
Right.
hierarchy involved.
No, it's all
Right.
intuitive. It's all your own intuition.
Yeah.
Somebody might receive or access it a little quicker, depending on, you know, how much they utilize it. But I mean, everybody has access to the same information
Yeah.
and knowledge. So, and we're bringing that back right now
Source.
because there's a lot of restoration happening right now and remembrance. And so
Yeah.
we're all beginning to kind of understand that it's part of the journey right now for the ascension is accessing light language because we need to be communicating on a consciousness level. Yeah.
Eric, I'm one with the source. The source is one with me.
So the
Yeah.
next question was, how can somebody begin to connect with light language in their daily life?
Well, intent is super powerful. Going inward meditation with the intent to connect with it. However, we understand that this can be challenging. Watching videos of other people speaking light language might help to activate that within you, or you can get activated by one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I specialize in activating soul language. That's what
Yeah.
I specialize in, but I think everybody here has activated somebody.
Oh,
Or
definitely.
multiple people.
It's just who you gravitate to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you're
But
contracted to.
and this is the
Be
thing that I've
particular.
learned in my journey. The reason why I specialize in this is because we do realize that it is challenging for some people to access it and understand it. It will come online for some people on its own, like mine, and I think Tina's, and I think Bernie too. We started receiving it like words and things like through
Yeah.
healing. And then, you know, for me, I had a friend that just kind of cracked me open. She spoke light language and it just started flowing after that. So sometimes you just need assistance with that. Yeah.
With
Mhm.
mine, it was contracted to come in after my dad passed. We had a karmic relationship, and the payoff for that karmic relationship was me elevating after he passed. So that's when my light language came in.
Yeah. So don't feel guilty if you feel the need to get activated. It's okay. We understand. It's really not that hard to access. It's just really tuning into your empathic and your emotional connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ito.
Laura she said, I've experienced so much chaos recently, feeling very out of control in a lot of transitions. Oh yeah. But also saw how raising vibration and sense for the body to process. Exactly. Yeah. Your
Mhm.
body has to acclimate to the new energy and calibrate. And sometimes it can be very challenging. So paying attention
Mhm.
to yourself and what your body needs every day is going to help you.
Yeah.
Being the observer of your energies, everybody should be doing this every day. Anybody want to add to that?
I was going to say the exact same thing. If this is how you're feeling right now, allow yourself to honor it. And as Deb was saying, become the observer of your own energy. Really, when you're feeling like you have these major shifts that are affecting your energy physically, it's time to become very present. As Deb was saying, become that observer of your own energy. Do self check-ins, push everything out. Consciously take a moment, push everything out of your energy, everyone, all the cords, cut them. And you can do that with just that intent, right? And take a moment and sit in your own energy and ask yourself, how do I feel physically? How do I feel mentally, spiritually, emotionally? How do I feel? And honor that. And then listen to what it is that your energy is needing. If you need extra rest, rest. If you need to hydrate, hydrate. But listen to your body. And conscious transmutation is what I'm hearing. Allow yourself to consciously transmute anything that is not your own.
There's many times where I check in and I'm like, ooh, I'm not doing so good today.
So
You know, it's pretty, I mean, navigating here in the physical world is not easy. So being observant of your energy and then taking time out to transmute, because transmutation is extremely important
Yeah.
for
Yes.
everyone to do. And it really is just intent to remove anything unwanted energy from your energetic field with intention. And just say that in meditation, allow yourself, your body to do what your soul knows what to do, you know.
Yeah.
It looks different for everyone. Transmutation's different for everyone.
Yeah. I
Oh,
find
thank
I
you,
do that.
Tina.
I find I do that when I am needing release, but when I'm receiving, I kind of try to get away from my head and my ego to just let it all flow through rather than trying to get something out. So I
Yeah.
find when I'm like, why is this happening? It just constant shadow
Kim
work
has a question about bacteria.
in the
Ooh.
gut.
That's
Yeah.
a very good question.
I think she's already answering her question with the question.
Yep.
You already know, Kim. Yes.
Yes,
So we have-
absolutely.
Mhm.
Tina.
So we had another
said-
question.
yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
sorry.
Go for it.
When your light language changes to a new dialect, how can you identify it?
Mm,
You ask.
Yes.
Mhm.
pretty simple.
And trust what answer you receive, because
Exactly.
there are, light language dialects are endless. Think about how many different languages we speak on earth, how many different accents there are that go along with that, how many different ways we just speak English,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Now think about how many animals there are on this planet. Take that
Yeah.
to another star system, right? So trust the way that it comes out for you. Because I could speak Lemurian Fey and Deb could speak Lemurian Fey, and it might sound completely different, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
we have our own energy within it. So trust, ask, and trust what you hear.
For me, I get a kind of visual of the guide who's coming
Mhm.
into my energy, and I normally see them sitting on top of my crown. So, for instance, when I channel my mantis, I literally see my mantis
Mhm.
sat on my head like this, with his legs hanging down my face and his
Yeah.
hands just going like that, holding away.
And there's different ways too to connect in with that. You can also ask your guides to give you a synchronicity to understand, meaning they could, you know, put a video in your awareness of the particular being. They do this with me all the time. Like all of a sudden I have like this awareness that the Vegas are coming in, and that's how I came up with the attunement, because it kept showing up in my awareness. See what I'm saying? So pay attention to what shows up in the physical realm to align yourself to that. Okay.
Yeah. Dialto happens all the time with dragons. With me.
Yeah. There's different little ways you can connect in with it. I create identifiers and symbols on my body to help me understand who I'm channeling. For instance, if I'm channeling a dragon energy, my body will start to move like this, like a dragon. Okay. That's
And
what
heat
I've
up.
symbolized on my body to help me recognize it before I start to channel it. But you will have to continue to practice with it. Yeah.
Okay, the
And
next
again,
question-
like Tina said, trust yourself.
Yeah, very important. The next question was, will everyone get an Eric like you guys?
Yeah, of course.
Call him. He'll come.
Well, absolutely. If he's contracted to work with anybody that wants to work with him. So if
Exactly.
Anyone
you
open.
want to work with Eric specifically, call him in. But as far as guides in general, we all have guides. Every single one of us has guides, multiple, many different kinds of guides. There are some that are with us for a lifetime. There are some that are with us through multiple lifetimes. There are some that show up at different points in our life to bring us certain things, certain activations, help us with certain paths that we're taking or where we are at in our life. So some kind of come and go, but you can always call them in at any time.
Yeah. Eric is
Someone
just a
asked-
guide
yeah.
to us. He's a
Yeah.
guide that showed up in my reality from channeling Eric on YouTube. It's ERIK. You can find out his story on there. I started watching it, and then he became a guide to me, and he
Then
just never
became
went
a guy to
away.
me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he is if you're showing up and you're asking that question, he's your guide.
Yeah.
Ah,
Like
Hasn't-
Amanda was saying that I want an Eric. He's already a guide to you,
Yeah.
Amanda.
you already have one, girl.
Yeah.
You already have one. Just call him in.
So
Mhm.
there was a second half to that question, which
Oh.
was a lady's granddaughter has recently said that she started speaking to an Eric. She's only a little girl, and they're wondering if she is speaking to Eric,
Yes,
your guide.
yes, that's why she's
Yes.
here today.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Is he? Yes, yes, he is a guide to
Sounds
you,
very
Amanda. He's normally
Oh,
a guide
she's
to
very-
anybody in that
Her
little.
granddaughter's very advanced on a spiritual level. She's
Yeah.
here to
Cool.
create movement. Yeah.
Very.
That's beautiful.
Our children are our future. They're going to be doing magical things here. So
Very much. so.
Jennifer, he's a guide to you too. I know whenever Jennifer and Eagle asks me a question, Eric shows up, so he's a guide to you. You may not know it, but he's the one who puts songs in your head.
yeah, just like Jesus will come in too.
Yeah.
Christ, I get very emotional in Jesus's energy because it's so pure and loving.
Michael,
And so
yeah.
I just tear up whenever he comes in. But Eric is one of my channeling guides.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. So Lisa says, I self-activated. I want to experience someone else activating me if a different language would come in. And I was drawn to that. I heard absolutely, absolutely different languages or dialects will come in.
Yeah.
So what I was hearing with that is if it's something that you want to do and you're drawn to anyone here or anyone in general, I'm hearing like an activations and upgrade session or just a dialect calibration, and tell them that you want to go into it intuitively. You don't want to go into it with a certain dialect in mind, and see what comes up
Yeah.
for you,
yeah,
like a
Yeah.
mystery.
I do those all the time. Integrated
Yeah.
added dialects. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We
They're
integrate
fun.
what's
They
in
give so much-
alignment with you, or if you want to bring in a specific one, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the McDonald's song stuck in my head. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That
Tiani's
sounds like
posted-
something, Eric. My bad.
Sorry, Tiani's posted a good question. How important is grounding, transmuting, and the inner work when you are working with light language? For those that are new to it,
It's viable.
It's
Oh,
like the
so
baseline of what you need.
It's a
vital
must. It's a
Yeah,
must.
it's a must.
Absolutely,
important.
definitely.
It is definitely like the baseline of what you should be doing, having in your daily routine.
Yep.
Absolutely, because without doing those things, the energy is not sustainable. Think about a bolt of lightning, right? It's a big, beautiful flash, but it's not consistent, right? It comes and it goes.
Mhm.
Or think about like sprinting. You can sprint, but it's not sustainable. You can't stay at a continuous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
can't stay in a continuous sprint. So, in order to protect your physical energy or your energy in general, it is so, so important to ground and transmute, release anything that's not your own.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that from personal experience, because when my light language activated, when my soul language activated, I just suddenly had all these guides around me. It was like a collective constantly. They just showed up at all times. And I think Deb was the only person that could relate to me. I found Deb and she was like, I know exactly what's going on with you. And I was like, great, because literally no one else does. Right. And I think that for probably 2 years worth of readings, Deb would tell me every single time, you need to ground. You need to ground. You need to ground. And it was, I had so much energy around me that I was just constantly floating. Right. But when that happens, then things like sickness or physical injury will come in and you'll start hitting roadblocks in your life because
Yep.
you're not protecting your own energy. You're not taking care of yourself and you can't pour out of a cup that's empty. So 100%.
Yeah.
So important.
Do you have an
Lisa says that
experience
she has fear attached to someone else activating her. And if you go into it with intent, sweetie, because fear is in alignment with love. Go into it with love, that you're only being activated with those energies that are in alignment with love, and you'll be fine. You have to trust your intention.
Along with that, someone asked, like, how do you know if you're to be safe and not channeling the wrong energies? All of that is with intent and what you
Yeah.
are focusing on. If you go in like, I don't know if this is gonna, like, with just not
In a negative way.
doubt or negative, it will be that. So as long as you are positive, in a positive state of
'Cause you-
mind, you'll be there.
Eric is saying you
All positive
choose. It's your
intent. Yeah.
choice to decide what you want to experience, because we're creators here. So if you decide you want to experience something dense, then that's going to be your reality, because you're feeling into fear. But if you choose love over the fear, then that is the experience you're going to have, because
Yeah.
you're creating it. Just like, people, you always say stay positive, correct? Because in order to stay positive, then that's going to help circulate positivity in your life. But if you continue to be woe is me and victim and depressed and, saying, oh, I'm always in pain, you're going to continue to be in pain and, be in a depressive state, because you're asking for it, because that is where your focus is energetically.
Yeah. Sherry says, like, are careful with our own words. We create what we say.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, boom.
Absolutely.
Eric, boom, shakalaka.
Boom shaka. That's so true, though.
Somebody else asks, what is an activation and how is it done?
Great question.
Activation is it depends on what type of activation, but if you're wanting to get activated with your own soul language dialect, that process is done differently for everyone. But for me, it takes about my sessions are an hour. It doesn't take long. I just step you through the process, but I bring through and open up the channel. And bring through the coding necessary to activate you and, step you through the process. And then I have a way of helping you to access it.
Yeah.
But
And
everybody's
everyone's
different on
Yeah.
how they do it. Yeah.
Everyone's
so-
different, but also the activate the person that's getting activated, is everyone's different. Some people get activated like that because it's the right time. Some people have to kind of talk themselves into being activated and aren't ready exactly. So it all depends on how you are feeling.
Yeah. Laura says, how do you learn where observed thoughts come from, Eric?
It's a
You
feeling.
join a channeling course, you learn how to channel, honey.
Yeah.
We do have a Starseed course available. It's called the Starseed Intuitive Awakening with myself and Tina, if you would like to learn how to channel. And he's our main guide in the group, in that group. So he's a lot of fun. Oh, hi, Allison. Malalo. Sensi, at only 3 months old, she stopped and looked at the side to think. Oh, that's so cute. Very intuitive.
Yeah.
Yes,
about it.
absolutely, Jasmine. Absolutely. I 100% believe that babies and children come in with full understanding, full knowing
Yeah.
of their light language, of their spiritual abilities. And I truly believe that it is life programming, getting up, going to school, everything around them that pulls them away from that and makes them forget, right?
Suppresses.
But yeah, exactly. It suppresses
Conditioning.
Exactly, conditioning.
Programming.
Babies come in wide open. So it's interesting because we think of a baby babbling, right? But they are absolutely speaking something with intention, right? With purpose, but we don't understand it.
The same thing with
we do now. But
same
children
thing with
absolutely.
imagination. Like, I look back at imagination, they're like kind of channeling experiences from different times, kind of that imagination, or different guides. Like, oh, I have an invisible friend. That's a guide.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
but then that gets suppressed. Like, you shouldn't have an invisible friend.
Right. You get told like, "Oh, that's just your imagination. Oh, you're making that up. Oh, you're playing pretend." But yeah, 100% because when I was a child, my abilities were wide open. Um, and I would play with children who had passed in the cemeteries we went to tend to families' graves. I would tell my family there's a fairy ring in the backyard. Of course, they all thought I was just playing, right? They never believed me. But yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Same. I used to speak to my granny after she passed. So I was 3 months old
Mhm.
when my granny passed. So I'd be in my crib holding a teddy bear. And my dad said he'd walk into the room to check on me as that you do with babies. And I'd be sat like this, just chatting away to the ceiling and laughing and giggling.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I love that.
And it was his mum, so it was very emotive for him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah. Tika tika suku to
Your
tika.
imagination is a great part of reality.
Yes.
Exactly. It's a true existence of who we are.
Well, that's a
Exactly.
good question. Why is it so important to be open to light language?
Because we're elevating to higher levels of consciousness. We're
Yeah.
going from third density to fifth density consciousness. And so we need to be able to have the understanding of what that looks like and feels like for humanity. We're
Mhm.
about ready to join the cosmic collective. And so we need to, be able to communicate through consciousness with these different beings. It is a consciousness. And being able to match that vibration of these densities so that we can hear and listen to those conversations. It's about leveling up. That's what the
Mhm.
ascension is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're seeing
Moving
it
forward.
happen right now. We're seeing a lot of shifts happening on the planet right now. So
Yeah.
we're preparing.
Here's one from Sherry who says, I've been following this site in an attempt to understand more. A couple of nights ago, I had a very realistic dream where I walked up to a mirror. When I looked in the mirror, it was a different reflection than my own. In my reflection, I had very white blonde hair, fair skin, and mystical blue eyes. I have
Mm.
brown hair and brown eyes. I was completely mesmerized by this reflection and the eyes. Any thoughts?
Your higher self, darling, or your
Mhm.
Mhm.
starseed origins coming through
Yeah.
to show you
Mhm.
that you're more than just this. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're
I
showing yourself for sure.
Mhm. I immediately heard that it was your higher self, a fractal of your higher self, and I heard Pleiadian.
Yep.
What I
Pleiadian.
heard.
Same.
Palladian.
Pleiadian starseed, probably.
It just looks like a Palladian. A lot of
Yeah.
Palladians are blonde with blue eyes.
A lot
Oh,
of
this
us
is
hold genetics, by the way, of Pleiadian, Lyran mostly. But we do have different fractals of, DNA from these higher dimensional beings. They help to create us. I know that's hard for people to grasp around that, but you will learn the truth as it starts to come forward. Yeah. So
Nayanis
don't,
says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I am a light worker and I know rest is required for my body and light codes are embodying into the system. I get up very late, around 12. That disrupts others in my bio family. My bio family are still asleep. How to address this inside me? I know I need to rest, but I still want to help my bio mum. What's your input? I would say if she's not on that level, she's not ready yet. And you can't force her into waking.
Exactly.
She has to come into the
Exactly.
channel on her own. You can't force anybody to
It's
wake
free
up at
will,
10 o'clock.
sweetie. We have to allow people their liberties to decide and make choices on their own. Yeah. There's power in planting a seed and giving guidance, but we can't force people. It's just that's control. That comes from a shadow aspect of ourself.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And,
If
and it will, obviously you love and care, but we also need to give freedom for people to make their choices.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that.
If your body is needing rest and your energy is needing rest, then you should
Mhm.
continue to honor what your body and your energy is needing. But I 100% agree with what everyone else is saying is that
Mhm.
we love and honor people exactly where they are, not where
Yep.
we wish for them to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if they're
Exactly.
not there, then they're not there, and that's okay. you can still show them love, and you can, like Deb said, plant seeds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But if it's coming from a place of forcing, if it's something that your family is not wanting and there's resistance within them, it's not going to matter. It's just going to exhaust your energy.
And
Yeah.
because they're not ready yet on a consciousness level of understanding yet. And so we have to wait for them to get to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
That's-
perfectly fine. Everybody's elevating differently. That's the beauty of this ascension and the process of everything.
There was another question of what would be the reason for me not speaking after an activation? I've been trying for months. I have no trouble holding the energy in mediumship, healing, and trance. So this is the lady that I activated, and in
Okay.
session she speaks perfectly fine.
Yeah.
She managed to send me a few recordings of her doing Mantis and something else. I think it was Faye, but she seems to be only working with her hands and not her voice. And that's just how some people are contracted. to
It's
work
this
with light
getting in the way,
language.
sweetie. It's this
Yeah.
getting in the way, honey. You have to stop telling yourself that.
That's
Mhm.
that's 100% what I was hearing and feeling as well. I heard subconscious programming.
Yep.
So it might not even be something consciously that you're doing. Like you go, okay, I'm gonna work with my light language. Of course, you're not sitting down and saying, and now I'm gonna stop it. Now I'm gonna block it. But there's something
Right.
within the subconscious that is getting in the way. And when you say you're trying so hard, that pinged in my brain and said to tell you, don't try so hard, right?
Yeah.
Don't
It's not,
go
it's,
listening
I
with
don't
your
need
heart.
to try hard.
I
I'm
don't need to
effortlessly channeling. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm effortlessly channeling. I do not need to try. I simply connect him with my heart and allow it to flow.
Yeah.
So
Working
she's
with-
already sent you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Bernie,
all right.
she's already sent you clips of speaking.
Yeah. So
she's
on the day
activated.
we activated, so it was like an 1.5-hour session, and she was speaking back and forth to me during the activation session.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. And then I think a couple of days later, she sent through 2 recordings, but then since
Yeah, she
then,
said-
all that's coming through is handwork.
Okay,
Hand
that means that
coding.
she needs to stop telling herself, she's, like Tina was saying, I'm sorry, carry
Yeah.
on, Tina, because you were explaining it. And I
No,
interrupted you.
it's all good. It comes out and then it goes whoop and it flies away. So
I know, I'm sorry.
whatever was supposed to come out did.
Oh, that always happens.
We just live in the
I
channel.
think by communicating with other people that speak it too, because we're activators, sending recordings to Bernie again, having her send a recording to you, responding with how you feel, tones with how you feel energetically. It's empathic communication will help you to,
Yeah.
bring it forward again. But it's yourself creating it, unfortunately, the doubt and the self-talk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
And
is getting
you're-
in the
and-
way.
Exactly. When you're wanting to connect in with that, and as Deb was saying, like if you want to exchange voice clips with Bernie or someone, what I'm hearing is connect in with your right brain, not your left
Left.
brain. Okay. You of course you want your brain to work in unison, but you want to allow the ego to view it from a place of neutrality. And you want to be connecting in with your right brain, which is your intuition, your flow, your creativity, your imagination. For me, I just sink straight down into my heart space because that's where mine comes from, is from my heart. I don't think about it. It's just almost like an autonomous response. And that comes with time, patience, practice, allowance. Allowance for you, surrender, allowance feels like the biggest for you is just allowing it to come right out.
Also giving yourself permission to speak it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is safe for me to speak. I give myself permission to speak.
So follow-up question, what would be considered resistance to self ?
In relation to what exactly?
In relation to the first question of what would be stopping her from speaking, somebody else has then commented saying,
the resistance is the self-talk,
Yeah.
allowing your the negative self-talk, because this is the
Perception.
issue. Yeah, perception. So this will get in the way because you have to tell it what light language is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this can't break it down. This breaks it down. Okay.
Mhm.
And I tell people, if you go back and you're trying to find it there, you're not going to find anything about light language there. You
No.
have to teach this because it's programmable, what it is.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's getting floating back down, like Tina was saying, to the heart space.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's the negative self-talk. As soon as you talk negatively about the situation, that's not in alignment with love. Just remember that. Anything
Yeah.
that's not in alignment with love is not the correct way to go. Okay.
No problem, Allison.
I accidentally
I
spoke directly out, so I've lost all questions.
Oh no.
My questions just reset.
Here's one.
Bernie's doing a good job.
Mhm.
I often get nudges that I believe to be channeling, but I haven't been able to sit and channel something with intention. I just get like a ding, ask this question, or a ding, call this person. And those times channeling, are those instances channeling, or are they just intuition and connectedness?
That is claircognizance.
Yeah.
Clear knowing.
Yeah.
Intuition, deep intuition, clear knowing. And you can sit down and channel with intention by setting that exact intention. I would like to sit
Yeah.
down and channel. I would like to call in my guides, my higher self, bring through a message for me, whatever it is, and trust what comes through.
Eric is saying to do automatic writing, which is just getting a pen and setting an intention to hear whatever through the consciousness. Now, it's going to sound like you're having kind of like a telepathic communication with someone. So you're going to hear a conversation within the mind. Okay.
Mhm.
And just practice writing down words that you're hearing. That will help open up that and give you more confidence with it because you can do this, is what he's saying. You're claircognizant,
yeah.
which is very tuned in to the channel.
So here's a good question. Are there those who now wish that they couldn't channel after starting channeling?
I would say no, because if you say all of your abilities are open, and this has happened to me in my life. When I was a child, I was very clairvoyant. When I was in my tweens, I said, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. And so there was no wishing that I couldn't channel. I told myself that I was not a channel, that I was not a seer, I could not see. And I shut it off
Mhm.
for 10 years because I decided that I wanted to. So I would say that your mind can turn it on and off.
Also,
I would agree.
you can do boundaries with certain guides or whatever that give you that perception of, I don't want to be channeling that dialect or that being. You can kind of shut them out, channel what you like.
So the next question is, can you be a clear channel and then through life circumstances lose it? How do you get back to that channel?
Healing.
By going back to it, by working with it.
Going back into
Setting
the
the
heart
intention.
center.
Mhm.
Yeah, setting the intention, connecting with the heart, and working on self-healing. Shadow work around it would help as well. That was something that I did a lot of when I said, wait a second, I know I have all these abilities because I've used them before. So what am I doing? Let's turn those back on. You know, that's what I did. I focused on healing myself, and I said, why was I afraid of this? What was it that triggered me? And I used a lot of I am safe. I am safe. That was an affirmation that I used a lot. I am safe to see. I am safe to know. I'm safe to hear. I'm safe to feel. I allow. And just
I say there is no fear connected to me channeling or hearing, but similar.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Now, one thing that Eric is talking about right now, he's saying that lower energy are teachers. The darkness teaches us. And so we don't need to be afraid of it. It's teaching you to set a boundary.
Yeah.
Okay. energetically. So
That's
I
what I
don't
do.
fear anything dark because I just, when it shows up in my reality, there's a reason for it. I need to claim my sovereignty and set a boundary and say, no, 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 I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to hear that story.
Yeah.
Okay. Just remember that. That's all it is. It's nothing to fear.
No.
So
And you will
What-
become more of
what
an
harm-
open channel when you
what-
believe that.
What
Mhm.
harm is it gonna do?
Exactly.
Ashley asks, oh,
Yeah.
where did it go? Can someone elaborate on the process of channeling in the dream process?
Mm.
Ooh.
I believe that while we are asleep, we are constantly in another realm. I would say that if you
100%.
wake up with a clear remembrance of a dream, that is your channeling. Okay, so if you wake up and you remember it, there's a message within that. So
Yeah.
what it is that you remember from that experience of your dream, that is your channeling. Now,
Eric's calling it lucid dreaming. You
Exactly.
remember while you're in the dream.
mhm,
I have
Exactly.
dreams where I'm working in the astral quite a lot, where I'm
yeah,
rescuing children from abhorrent
Yeah, I've had those.
situations.
Mhm.
I usually get pulled into dreams with clients that I'm working with at the time, or with friends if they're having an issue. I normally get pulled in to help assist them in the astral. And then the next day they'll message me and be like, oh, thank you so much for that work last night. And I was like, what work?
yeah.
I don't always remember it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in my dream last night. I'm like, oh, really? I was busy.
What was
Yeah.
I doing?
I did that too. What was I doing? What
I
was
was
I doing there?
helping.
Could you give me a refresher?
These are all so good questions.
These are wonderful questions.
What if you don't remember your dreams? Is there any significance?
If you don't
Start
remember,
setting intention.
yeah. If,
Intention to start remembering your dreams.
mhm.
Yeah.
Another Ashley says, I randomly remember my dreams from years ago during my waking day.
Yeah.
There would be lessons, I would say, if you are still
Mhm.
remembering them, or they have some kind of affinity with what you're going through at the moment, and they're coming up as like an overlay
To
of,
heal.
you've done this
Yeah.
before, or this is where you need more work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The darkness just teaches us to remember, really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. And the darkness is a part of our wholeness, right? Because there is a
There is no
duality.
light without the dark.
There is
Exactly.
no light without the
Balance.
dark. So that is a part of our wholeness. It's acknowledging the darkness or our shadows, right? Our shadow selves, our shadow aspects, and
If
showing
you
them
notice, too, every single one of us, we don't have any fear of channeling.
no, I don't have any
We
fear of
understand-
anything.
We understand, and nothing's happened to us.
No.
I've
Right.
had interactions with people who are channeling from a dark place. They channel it with their light language, but that's only because they haven't set boundaries. Once
Yeah.
they decide to do that, then they have the ability to let go of those things. See, it's a choice. If you want to experience darkness, you can, but who the hell wants to experience that?
Like my
Voluntarily, no, thank you.
it's like my
And the
favorite
thing-
Harry
The
Potter
thing with
quote.
that as well is those that feel right as though
Yeah.
they are working with darkness or trapped within darkness or stuck within this, right? Because I've met people before
Yep.
where they're like, well, this is attacking me and I can't get away from it. And I'm like, okay,
You're creating
let's-
Perception.
yes, we're gonna stop saying that right now.
it. Exactly.
We're going to do some work. We can go in and see if there's any connection in an alternate lifetime that might be strengthening that. But we're going to work on the self-programming. And so it's not just, as Deb was saying, set the boundary, but
Yeah.
set the boundary and believe in the boundary and reaffirm the boundary and believe
Yeah.
that when I say, get the hell out of my space, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you say it and you're questioning it, it's kind of like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because you're saying this, but you're thinking
Yeah.
this, and you can hear both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to believe it.
You
Yeah.
You have to empower yourself. You really
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
It's like my favorite Harry Potter quote. We all have light and dark within us. We just choose what to act on, what to use.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much so. It's like the
True.
story of the two wolves
Anybody can
inside us
pull
and which
from
one you choose to
all
feed.
forms of light.
Yeah.
The darkness is still a form of light. It's just a different,
Mhm.
it's different
Mhm.
energetically. hits
like
us differently.
Star Wars. There's the light and
But
dark.
everybody,
they
I
both
think
have
we
power.
all learn and navigate through the darkness here. You know, it's just part of the
Yeah.
journey. Yeah. I can.
Hey,
No more
Kim.
questions at the moment that I can see.
Balance
Yeah,
between
if we
light
could
and
just
dark.
get humanity on board with all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fear-based programming on social media is a real trigger for me. Anything that people are spreading fear with is not in alignment with love. So I don't follow anything like that.
Nope.
Same.
No,
And I
thank you.
clear through my feed quite regularly as well. So like people I follow and things like that, if they've, I'm sure people have noticed that a lot of people in this spiritual field at the moment, some of them have come away from what their initial message is. And
Mhm.
it's usually because the fear has seeped in and you
Yeah.
can see it. And so I'll
Yeah.
go through my feed every couple of weeks and I click or unfollow or etc. to just
Yep.
clear up my feed.
Yeah.
Remember that to do that in your socials as well as your life and your closet and
Yep.
you know your diet, and it's everything you need to clear
Everything
out, not
in
just
your awareness. Yeah.
exactly
Mhm.
your music taste, everything.
Yeah, if you think about it, there's a lot of, pay attention to the lyrics of the
Yeah,
music.
definitely. There's a lot
You.
of negative
When you
connotations
sing
in
it, you're
music.
manifesting that. Mhm.
Exactly.
I set intentions that I'm alchemizing before.
Uh-huh.
Like
Mhm.
I was like, for example, I was listening to music while I was getting ready, and it was just this most eclectic group of things, right?
Yeah.
From all different
Yeah.
different genres of music. So I
Mhm.
set the intention
Alien.
that I'm alchemizing
I love
as
that.
as it's coming out, so I can still sing
Enjoy
DMX
whatever,
if
but-
I want to while I'm getting ready. And it's,
Or
you
that
know,
it won't, but the words won't affect me. I change it into a
Exactly.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I just remix it. I just make my own lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change it.
Same. I think we all do
a lot of
that.
improv singing at my house.
Or
but
I
it's
just
songs all the time.
pause like in between. I'm like, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is being the observer of your thoughts, your self-talk, what you're sending out to the universe, the healthy mindset. And some people call it being mindful. I just call it being self-aware, self-awareness, and healthy conversations. It is a program you will notice cycles of behavior and things that you say on a consistent basis. You don't realize it's in a negative way. But if you start being the observer of your thoughts and where they go and what you're saying, you're going to realize you can start shifting that. Oh God, what does Eric have to say, Seth?
No,
Bonga.
Tina Hewitt was like, I need Seth's playlist. You don't need my playlist. I have such random. I kind of more lean into how the song makes me feel, not what the words say.
Me too. That's why mine's all over the place
The
too.
intent. Yeah. But
Oh, you mean
yeah.
there's words in this?
You're like, how is that? How do you listen to that? I'm
You
like,
can
I don't know. It
actually-
just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
You can actually on Spotify, there's categories where you can type in high vibrational music or music
Mhm.
attuned to 432 hertz. They're the kind of playlists that I follow on Spotify, and I have kind
Yeah.
of have them on a loop.
Or you
For
can
those
sing your
that don't
soul
know.
song. You can sing
Oh,
from
that as well,
memory
yeah.
and remembrance. I sing soul songs all the time. Ask Seth. We're both doing it all the time.
I do that too.
Diando. I have many different songs.
So
from-
soul songs will come through after you've been activated. You'll start singing from memory.
I have a lot of Norse songs.
I get a lot of those too.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Norse
get them all
dreams, which
over.
are crazy.
What's
Yeah.
funny is when the mantis try to come in to sing.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy having a Norse dream where I feel everything in the moment, and then I wake up and I'm like, whew. Because I'm like, oh, there's a mountain lion that's sniffing me.
Are
while
all
I'm
of my
thinking-
limbs here? Am I my whole body still? Oh, good.
Oh, I got hit by an arrow and I wake up.
It's not there. Oh, it's okay. It's not in my chest anymore. I don't have to
Okay,
Yeah.
figure that out.
back to this time.
So sing some for us, Seth. That's what.
Oh no. Andi
That's right, Deb, you
ando,
put him on the
si
spot.
ando.
Balando,
My
balando.
mom has had videos of me
Yeah.
singing them.
Beatboxing,
Diandi,
dancing.
diambo, diali,
Beatboxing
tuti,
Mantis.
ati, ati, ati,
Yeah.
ati.
I have channel mantis. They're funny. Yeah, it's all about memory. Just allow yourself to feel good. And a lot
I
of times
just
when
let go and
activating
allow
people,
it to
they'll start
happen.
singing too when I activate them. Yeah.
One of the songs sounds like Melaliki Maka is
So sometimes the mantis come in and they're like rapping it in a sense.
Yeah.
rhythmic
Yeah.
based.
I cannot say I've experienced that yet. That's
You
what
have
I'm
to set
thinking.
intention. They just came in randomly one time.
I'm going to start beatboxing mantis.
I was on this random playlist that I have on, right, while I was getting ready to come upstairs, on came some K-pop. And I could hear the mantis like overlaying that.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they chime
There was
in.
so
you
much
just like,
energy
they chime in.
swirling around me before this event. I was like, everybody back up, get in line, right? We're going to go get ready. You can party with me if you want. So I just put my music on my TV in my bedroom and started blasting it.
Eric's calling it beatboxing. He's like,
Yeah.
Sometimes I sing a song in light language that is here, or like I kind of
That happens
translate
to
it.
me too, yeah.
It's almost like I'm translating it, but it's like the same rhythmic. It's just light language words that just comes through.
Mhm.
It's
That
funny
happens
though, because
Um,
sometimes it
Lisa
sounds
is-
better. Sorry.
Lisa is asking if there is any advice on easing ascension symptoms, hydrate, rest, ground, any others?
High vibrational foods.
yeah, high vibrational foods. Yeah. Also, ask your guides to assist you with the ascension symptoms. I
Yeah.
do that. I actually call in Jesus. I ask him to help me.
Sometimes I also just set an intention to not think about it, allow it to just flow through, because when I think or just focus on it, that's all I'm thinking about, and it kind of makes it worse than it is.
Or you could grab your fluorite and put it on your head.
Or grab 5 of them.
I had to do that last night. I was receiving so much through my
I
crown.
did that.
When you receive through your crown chakra, sometimes you'll feel pressure on your nose and your head. And so I sometimes have to grab my fluorite. His name is Bob. And I just put him right on my head. He's become my boyfriend lately because that's all I have.
Also connecting with whatever elements you feel most drawn to. For me, it's water.
Yeah.
So showering with intention, bathing with intention. Like I literally have a bowl in my shower and I'm like, these are my bathtub crystals. Come on.
Make sure
We're going to get a bath now. Allowing your body that connection to that
essential oils. Yes.
Essential oils are fantastic.
I always have the oils. So
I always have them diffusing in my room and on my body.
Yeah, and Tina Hewitt was what is high vibrational, is it clean foods? It's more of like super greens, green-based foods that were from here on Earth, not like processed or you'll get a lot of it from
anything colorful.
Anything colorful with greens. They help with certain.
We drink a lot of organic juice, the green juice.
Yeah.
And
does way more than
that helps a lot for me. I have to do extra sometimes. So let's face it, the vegetables aren't as, high vibrational as we would like, unless you're growing them, right? So that's what I do.
Yeah, I should see our jalapenos.
There's one called Bloom that is tastier than some of the others. I like the taste of it, and you can get a berry flavor that's pretty good.
Or also this is just reminding me of Yetis and Bigfoots, how the reason why they get seen is because they're coming down for the berries because they taste so delicious.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason they get caught, is because they like berries.
Are you talking about Bigfoot?
Yeah. That's everyone fruits and veggies, and the reason why they get seen is because they're at a different density and they have to lower to find the food that they like here. They love berries, strawberries, blackberries.
They were designed to live here. That's why they're
but
from
now,
here.
When you catch glimpses of them, they're just peeking between the dimensions.
Yeah.
And I also believe that if you see them you're meant to.
You're in
Yeah.
alignment with them. Yeah. Yeah.
The headaches are connected to activation, seem strong in circles. It all depends. Most likely, yes. It depends where, because if you're getting
That too.
pressure, kind of pain in the middle, that's more of a sign to release. But if you are just getting just normal slight pressure, like, oh, I have a slight headache, that's because you're receiving a lot of decoding for an activation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you
It
know,
all
if it's your
varies.
head and your tummy's kind of doing backflips too,
Yeah.
it could be that you have what we call influencer energies around, or that you've pulled off of people, and then it's time to do transmutation. So just set intentions to remove whatever that you could be hanging on to that's affecting the pain, and see if that helps. But most likely, if you could feel like a showering feeling of energy,
Yeah.
then it's most likely an activation or
Yeah, like
you
right
know, some sort of
right
integration happening.
right now I just feel like energy's just flowing down
Yeah,
through my
Nice.
crown and everything.
yeah.
I can feel it too, but the magic fingers got me coming from you for some reason.
Spirit fingers.
Just-
So
Arigato.
Allison Roberts says she loves berries, not so much meat. And I eat meat, just so you guys know. It's how you bless the food.
Yeah,
Okay. Just remember, sometimes I need meat to help me ground.
Mhm.
it's the
So-
same thing with other tribal stuff, and like
Mhm.
how I always go back to Avatar,
Avatar,
how
exactly.
they have to hunt and provide food, but they bless before they take its life and all that. It's just all with intent and how you, because some of them aren't really the best
You have
energetically.
to set intentions, Jessica. She just has a question about releasing headaches, and set
Mhm.
intentions, move the energy with your light language. If
Yeah.
you're not
And
speaking light
cough it
language,
out.
then do breath work, ground, get in nature, take a bath.
Dizziness is most likely a sign
Ungrounded.
of you're ungrounded.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I had that. I was receiving a lot and I needed
Yeah.
to be outside more than I was, so I was dizzy. I always say get in nature. It's the best place to be. We're meant to
Mhm.
be in nature.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
spend a lot of time in nature.
When I have expansion in my upper centers, when I have activations or calibrations coming in, integrating, I tend to get dizzy a lot. And so I 100% agree that it's necessary to ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like taking a shower whenever I'm getting a lot of pressure because it's
Yeah.
just I set intentions that it cleanses my energy and allows it to flow through even more.
Eric said disconnect
an
from your
hour.
phone, your electronics
That's
too, from the EMF that could be causing it too.
Exactly.
I was going to say, remember to clear cords from social media as well as from people and energies.
Oh
'cause a
my
lot of people
gosh, yeah.
forget.
If you're on
A lot of
TikTok
people
for
forget.
3 hours,
Oh,
you know, you
yeah.
better
Exactly.
transmute.
You've got all that energy firing at you constantly, and people
Yeah.
forget to transmute after using
Right.
social
Yep.
media.
we don't
People
realize
That is a big one.
Exactly. Yeah, people forget that all of your interactions online are the same as if you went and spoke to that many people at the grocery store, right?
Exactly.
Because
Yep.
energy is energy. And so if
Yep.
you're chronically online, I was going to say I notice the more that I'm like mindlessly scrolling or on my phone, the worse I feel. And I
Yep.
haven't been on my phone for almost a day now, and I kind of forgot where it was, to be honest. I was like, I
Made you
feel
feel
really
better
good.
though, I'm
Like,
sure. Mhm.
I
I-
feel so
Yeah.
good today, even for being tired, because I wasn't mindlessly scrolling and picking up all that energy.
Yeah.
I limit
eh,
myself. I don't use my
yeah.
phone after 8 o'clock at night. I put it down, turn it off, leave it till the next day.
I've been
Ah,
trying my best.
love that.
I
Yeah,
just come and go
Pedro.
because my job is on my phone, so I come and go.
Yeah.
I have
Pedro
to be
said-
interacting with it, but I use fluorite to help transmute EMF.
Oh,
So
I
You can
have
get-
to.
You can get EMF tags and stickers as well for the back of your phone, like shungite. You can get
Yep.
tiny little circular shungite pieces with like
have them.
and you
double-sided
can
tape.
put them on your phone.
That's it, yeah, and you can put them on your
Mhm.
phone or on your computer, etc.
Yeah.
I
They're
have
really
this
handy.
too. It's by Vibes Up, but it's like a grounding map. But you can put your drinks on it. That helps to clear the energy. You could, charge your crystals on it too, but yeah, that helps. Or you could go like that. Whatever you want to do with it.
I just grabbed my fluorite. April says,
Grounding mats.
how do you transmute? I think we went into this, but it's mainly with intention and allowing it to be released. You have to set the intention. I transmute what doesn't serve me, what doesn't align with me, whatever way you naturally do it. Everyone is very different, but it's all with intent and allowing it to come through. Normally I transmute through coughing.
Yeah, me too. Or you can lean up against a tree and allow the tree to take it for you.
Yeah.
Transmute it.
Ask Gaia.
Nature is key, I'm telling you.
I like to
I-
transmute barefoot in the garden. I walk around
Exactly.
the garden
There you
in
go.
infinity.
Take your shoes
Channeling.
off. Walk. with your
Yep.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always
Yeah.
barefoot. I'm a right little hippie.
me too.
Yeah.
I like to walk around barefoot too. I feel like I connect better and I feel better.
It's a miracle that I even have socks on right now. So I'm right there with you. I'm cold now because I lived somewhere warm for a while. But I 100% agree on connecting with nature. I like to lean into the elements. So if I'm transmuting, say it's windy that day, I will say I am consciously releasing anything that is not my own to be taken into the wind and transmuted back into light outside of my body, outside of my
Yeah.
field. I hand it to nature. I hand it to the universe. Or in the shower, coming down the drain, leaning into the water outside with your feet on the ground. I'm staring at this. So a good crystal to assist you if you are someone that's into crystals is smoky quartz, is a transmuter. But most of all, your intention.
Yeah.
A good one if you forget as well, if you're in bed at night and you realize, oh crap, I forgot to transmute. You can imagine that your root chakra opening and tree roots coming out, down your legs, across your floor, out your window, down the street, over to the nearest tree, wherever it may be. And you can transmute in that way as well.
Yeah. Be creative. Use your imagination, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
Breath work is really great too. I use a lot of breath work.
I
Definitely.
dance a lot as well to transmute energy.
Yeah,
Put
dancing.
on some intentional music and literally just
Working
dance it out.
out.
Yeah,
Working
Jessica
out.
Working
says,
out, yeah.
Jessica said, does movement help? I was gonna say yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With
She already
chanting,
knows. She's
yeah, she
answering
already
herself.
knows.
Yeah.
I set the intention when I'm doing my daily exercises that I am transmuting anything that is not my own, and I'm grounding, and I'm using that time where I'm conscious of my physical body to ground me.
Yeah. A lot of times I connect with Mother Earth and I channel her through me, and that helps me to feel grounded. So,
There was a question there and it's just disappeared about drinking wine. Do you think that will affect people? Oh, here it is. Actually, I would like to know if you guys think it is okay to drink wine. Will it interfere with our ascension? I think in moderation,
Of course.
it's okay.
yeah, I think if you feel it's going to affect you, then it will. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
very
It's a
true, yeah.
perception, but I personally, I like to have a michelada every once in a while, but I can only have one. I have to really be the observer of my energy because alcohol lowers my vibration.
I remember when you first started,
Yeah.
you were having reactions to it that you never really did before.
I got really sick. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. And my body can't.
And this
doesn't
isn't
host
like
it
she's-
anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this isn't even like she's drinking much. It's like one thing, and she
Yeah.
But I like
Can't
the
handle
taste
it.
of a michelada, but I can only have like one. Like Seth, I have one,
yeah.
and that's like
And
maybe
that's-
one every couple months or something.
It's probably
Yeah.
like 4 times a year.
yeah.
And
And
I
I
think-
used to,
I'm
I
not-
used
that's
to
like once
dabble.
every
I
3
used to
months.
dabble. I used to do the shots. I used to do
Yeah.
all that, but I
Oh my
can't anymore.
goodness.
Oh gosh, I haven't had a shot and I can't tell.
Oh my god, I was
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
think it would go
shots all
well.
the time.
I
2
have
bottles of beer
never.
and that's me done.
I have
Now
never.
the thought of it makes me sick.
Yeah.
But wine, I can't drink wine. I have a reaction
can't.
to wine, so I'm not a
Right.
wine drinker.
I think it's like Deb said, all about observing your energy and then
Yeah.
knowing that you can speak intention and blessings into anything. And for
Yeah.
some reason, what I heard for you or for anyone is set the intention. If you're going to drink it, first of all, don't go into it with a negative energy. Speak your energy into it, and also set the intention to close your crown,
Yep.
so that your you're just in your physical body, right? And you're not floating around in the spiritual realm, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Just
And
don't
we-
overdo it.
Yeah,
Just don't
and
overdo it.
we had a lot of people the same thing about smoking weed, and
Yep,
Eric was
I
like
was just
the
about to get to that
ganja,
one.
the
Same thing.
ganja.
The
It's the
ganja.
same thing.
Eric's
But-
In
one-
moderation, I would say, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Eric
also
was
had
big
people
with that
yeah.
when he was
Yeah,
here.
he was big. He's kind of gives me that smell and taste. That's his for a year, not a year, probably like a month or 2 months. Eric gave me the taste of weed every
Yeah.
now
Nice.
and then. I didn't know it was him until I noticed, and then it went away forever. So,
Yeah.
He was
But-
teasing you, Seth.
there is also I've had people say that they feel like they only can connect when after they've smoked,
Yeah.
which that is
A
a
lot of people
perception.
find that, I think.
It's easier because of how loose you are in your energy. It's
It
more
helps
so,
to remove the ego. out
yeah,
of
it helps
Yeah,
remove the
yeah.
ego, but it doesn't mean that's the only way. So
Right.
if that happens, I would say it's just the
Mhm.
perception and
Yeah.
how you are.
That
viewing
goes
it.
with plant-based medicines in general. A lot of people
Yeah.
think they can't connect unless they're under the influence of plant-based medicines, but that is just the beginner for some people to help
Yeah.
them connect, but you don't need it to connect.
No.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have told me that they smoke, whether it be
Yeah.
weed, cigarettes, whatever, and they do this with the intention to smoke cleanse their energy around them. So your intention is the
That's
most important,
interesting.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your intention is the most important with anything. But if you put negative energy into it, that's what's going to come back.
Yeah.
Well, and too much
Very
of anything
true.
is bad. Too much good is
Yeah.
bad. Too much anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Exactly,
it's just
in
The key
moderation.
is to understand what it's teaching you in the moment too.
Right.
It could
Yeah.
be a teacher. So what is this plant-based medicine teaching you? Every plant-based has something different that it's teaching.
Yeah. Well, I've been sober.
I'm just too
Sally.
sensitive.
Mhm.
I'm 25.
I'm too sensitive
too
for all that.
short.
I have never drank.
I'm just
It'll
too
just
short.
come right out of me. I'll end up
Mhm.
throwing up. So
Eric's been singing in my ear, Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all I need.
Eric
Yeah.
sometimes puts Willie Nelson's song, "It's all going to pot," whether you like.
uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, up in the birdie.
Okay.
She'll pop back in. It's all good.
Do we have any other question? I see a question here and I don't know if there's others before it, but how can I better interpret messages? And this is from Jamie, that come through ear ringing. I pay attention to what I'm thinking, watching, seeing, but any other tips are appreciated. Because
I-
sometimes ear ringing can be many things. Sometimes it's your guide stepping in and it's a fluctuation of energy and you have to adjust to the vibration to hear the message.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's energy from the cosmos. So it's not necessarily a message. It could be just you being sensitive to the changes that are occurring. I think that what you're doing is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Paying
Mhm.
attention to what you're thinking in the moment, what you're hearing, ask questions. What is it that you want? Who are you? Also, what side is it coming on? Is it your divine feminine side or your masculine side? And start like really asking questions. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody wants to add to that, Tina or Seth.
No, I'm
No.
right there with what Deb was saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like you're doing what you should be doing, which is acknowledging it. And if clairaudience is not your most dominant clair, if you're noticing that coming in, what you can do is acknowledge it and then say out loud or in your mind, if there is a message that comes along with this, bring it to me in any way that is most available. And I think that you're already doing that is how I feel. So just
Yeah.
continue
Yeah,
to
I
lean
feel the
into it.
same way. She's already,
Yeah.
yeah.
Trusting that it's coming in the way that it's
Yeah.
meant to for you.
Ellie Farley, why do I feel twitches on the right side of my face when I run Reiki / cosmic energy? The twitches when you are doing energy work.
The first question I would ask you, is this your feminine energy or your masculine side?
Yeah.
Okay, that could be that maybe your
Okay.
particular field is off balance a little bit. And so you're just feeling the shifts of energy as it's channeled through you as the conduit. Yeah. So maybe pay attention if it's your right side, which is divine masculine, maybe you need to bring in more of your divine masculine energy by saying no, setting boundaries and becoming more aware that you could be saying yes too much. Okay.
Yeah.
So it could be a balancing of your own energy. Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Or it could be just that's how you're receiving the,
Right.
the channel.
Well, yeah,
I was
like
gonna say as
Patricia
well.
said, you're receiving
Yeah,
downloads.
it could just be the
Everything
right
is very
person.
different in
Mhm.
how you receive that. Sometimes it's a certain guide, sometimes the guide is helping you and you feel they're present. It's all different. And mainly, the first thing I heard was ask. Like, you can ask your guide, ask, why does this happen? But
Mhm.
first, it would probably be certain side for a certain.
Patricia Waska's making me laugh.
Why?
Yes, in the showers, imagine golden showers pouring over you.
Eric, stop. Di ka dito. Hi, Estella. Di ka pa ulit. Yeah, activation.
Oh yes, I have a crystal eye mask from Vibes Up. Yeah. I actually put it over my forehead, but I burn a hole in those things so fast. That thing burns out real quick with my energy. So I have to use the chunky fluorites for me.
Dana said that is an activation happening when you are shivering inside, but it's not cold. From my experiences from being cold, even though it's not cold inside, that is also something for grounding and getting some of the source energy from the sun. That's what I found will help with that. What about
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, it could be your guides too.
Yeah.
Coming into your awareness, shifts in density, acclimation, ascension. It could be many things. So grounding getting out in the sun and grounding would probably help you, benefit you with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even a
absolutely.
hot bath or a warm
Yeah.
bath. Mhm.
Mhm.
Patricia, this is what happens with Eric, though. She's like, not that, LOL. But that's what happens when Eric's here. He tries to make us laugh because laughter brings up the vibe, and he would rather see everyone laugh at something than not.
Aw,
But that's him as a
Amy.
person too.
She said she quit smoking. I think everything in moderation is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
if
think
you
it's a matter of being an observer of your own energy and what makes you feel good. And
Yeah,
what
if you feel like if you feel like it's creating some destructiveness within your energy, then stop doing it or cut down.
and
Yeah.
also if you feel like once you do it once, you do it like a million times, you're an addict per se, where you can't just do it one time because that leads to a lot more. You know yourself more than anyone, so I would just trust in what you feel in that moment. And
Mhm.
now doing any of that kind of stuff just really.
I like how Lisa said, I feel that your ringing is a message that you receive, that the information comes in later. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
depends on the person and what that
Yeah.
means to them. Yeah. For me, when I hear ear ringing, I know that spirit's coming in and there's a message and I just stop and
Mhm.
listen to it.
Yeah, that's the same for me. When I
Yeah.
get, for me, it usually comes in like very, very loudly because my
Yeah,
kids are loud. My life
exactly.
is chaotic in general. So all of a sudden I'm like, whoa.
And one
And
side, it comes on one
Mhm.
side if it's a guide. So I
Mhm.
just kind of listen to what side it's in.
Yeah. Allison said every time she has a shower in the morning, or a baby white dragon comes and sits on her right shoulder.
Oh, Malalo. I love
Isakito.
that.
I heard dragon, so I was like,
Andrea Faye Sides wants to know how we all came together.
that's my mother.
Mine too, just not in this lifetime.
Sorry,
So,
that's what Eric told me to say.
I guess me. Huh.
Well, I'm
Um,
your offspring, so
well,
obviously
yeah,
me.
I'm just saying that.
I came from you.
So Tina came on to a reading, I
Mhm.
think, right? That was several years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh my gosh, almost
And
5
I'm
years.
like, and her guide said she should be doing what you're doing. Remember?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then she started joining a channeling course, but she just was like quick to pick up on everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just natural at it. Bernie came into, I had a session with her, and then she came into my light language course. And that's how we know each other.
Yeah.
And
I can tell my side of how I got into it. One, yes, that's my mother, but there was a time period where I wasn't in any of this, and I remember vividly some of the most important times in this, but I remember my mom walking down the stairs of the house that she was in, and she said, I just got off a reading and you're going to be following in my footsteps. That's the exact words she said. And I'm like, okay. And then I felt like I keep on hearing it was like 8 months later. Like I said no so much. And then she activated me. She was like, I heard you're ready.
Mhm.
And
but
I
I
got
asked
activated.
permission.
Yes.
Or
I
do you
had
want
to
be
be the
activated?
one. Yes, I had to be the one to allow to be
Yeah.
activated. And then I spoke like 10 different dialects on the
Yeah.
way home.
He was channeling, which was beautiful to witness. And you know that he's my only in-person activation. Everything else has been online.
That's just crazy.
Zoom.
But I remember
Yeah.
that
Mine's my
activation
mother.
like
For me, my first
mom.
in-person
Yeah.
activation was my mother. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I activated my niece after that, and I activated my granddaughter speaks a fairy dialect. So I communicate with light language all the time because your
Mhm.
soul understands it. This might not, but you know, the kids will understand it, especially
Mhm.
children.
I was
Yeah.
aware that there is a fake account that is portraying as me.
Oh
I
yeah,
would but
spammers.
I heard that it was being removed. That's what Bernie said.
Those are
But
discernment lessons for people.
I
Really pay
always tell,
attention.
yeah, I always tell people I never fully like reach out to somebody unless I'm already I don't really like message somebody or like, oh, message me for this. I don't do that. That's why I always tell people to message me so you know it's me. Message my account that is connected to
There's a question. Is it normal for someone to be able to look directly at the sun outside or sunrise and sunset?
directly at the sun
I don't know
because
if
I
it's
can't
normal,
see.
but you know, I could tell you that there's different, you know, people believe in different things, but I can tell
Mhm.
you that the sun is beautiful for you. So
Mhm.
I don't see anything wrong with it. You
Yeah,
know,
I do it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
do it too.
I have an
So
astigmatism already, but
they
I do
say
it.
it's supposed to help with your sight.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know, there's this old back in the day, don't look at the sun, don't do this, you know. So, but I
If I
don't
look
believe in any of that.
directly at
Fear
I do it a
based.
lot.
directly in the middle of the day directly at the sun, I don't do that. But I definitely look at sunsets, sunrises,
I like the
everything.
sunrise personally.
Sunrises, I've learned to cherish it even
Good
more.
luck trying to look at directly because you're gonna squint because it will affect you.
Yeah.
Thank you, T.
A dragon question. I keep hearing
Mhm.
about dragons. How do you know if you have one?
Depends what your identifiers are, but a lot of the times, the most common identifiers is when one is in your energy, you get heated up,
Yep.
like kind of almost like you're perspiring or just
Or
within.
heart palpitations?
Yes.
Too as well. Some people can mistake it for anxiety, but
Or
it's
you can
just your
see.
guide stepping in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Or you
has
can,
a dragon guide, by the way.
yeah, I tell people the most common guides that I feel almost everybody has is a dragon and a fairy. Feel like if you don't have either one of those, it's very rare. feel like
Catherine
they're the
has a
most
question
common.
too. Can your
Mhm.
soul language change slightly, new words, or sometimes sound
That's a
different to
different
normal?
variant. I would say that's a different variant. I went through that. It's my
too.
soul language. What is a Tibetan dragon, which is Andi Ali Uti Apapa Aisuk Oti. And it changed slightly. And I remember, I think I asked you, I'm like, it feels different, but is this just my dialect? And you were like, it is different. But I went from Dik Ali Tutu Oli to
Yeah, well, it elevates into fractals,
yeah,
and also you could be channeling other
a higher.
dimensional, higher round, other guides too as well. So you start with your own dialect, and then it morphs into a channel. It starts to elevate, and so you will continue to elevate the more you use it.
Yeah.
That
And
was
there's
that was
always
the word that I was hearing
variations.
too.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
elevate.
And
That's when
there's
I
always
started
nuance.
experiencing it. I was like, what the heck is happening to me?
Mhm.
I didn't understand it. I thought you got one dialect and that was it, but then I realized I was a channeler. And it changed my whole life. And then
Yeah.
little did I know I would be, I'm specialized in activating soul language,
Mhm.
but it was just part of what I brought here. Everybody's different on what they specialize in.
Yeah.
Mine tends to blend a lot and also shift. I've
Blending
noticed
too.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
that I get a lot of blending.
Depending on, see, this is the reason why we blend is because it could be that we need to pull frequency from different densities to help with that person's energy. And so,
Mhm.
it's all about frequency is what
Right.
it is. Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
Eric is a
Sometimes,
guide to us.
yeah, sometimes
How
the blending is efficient, right? Because you can get it all in at once.
To me, blending it is super powerful, but when you really want to solidify and just channel a
Right.
specific one, the holding of that energy can be very challenging. So I encourage everybody to work with that.
Practice each
Esmeralda?
one individually. Yeah.
Yeah, had somebody say where is that? I just lost it. Oh. How do I find out my soul language? Normally it's the light language you get activated through first, but mainly it's by getting activated, whether any way that is normal. We all activate, but some people can self-activate, and
Mhm.
normally that is the dialect
She
that
wants to know
person
her
is into.
dialect. Is that what her question is?
Jamie was like, how do I find out my
Oh,
soul language? And it's by
so
getting
you want to,
activated. But if you're
okay.
already speaking, it was normally your soul language. If
Yeah,
it's the
but
first
I
dialect.
wasn't sure if she was trying to question that she's already activated, but doesn't know what her soul
It
language.
just,
Okay. But if she wants to get activated with soul language, you can get activated by one of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever aligns and resonates
Whoever
with
you're
you.
aligned with.
How do I get active? The same question. It's the same thing.
I have a code right now, activate 25 for 25% off my
Yeah.
activations. Activate 25, all in caps. Use that code at mysticheartspace.com. Okay.
Yeah.
If you resonate with me, if you resonate with these other two, they'll give you, you
These
can
other
message
two.
either one of us.
Yeah.
Too as well.
Can you explain soul songs? They're kind of remembrance from those times, and it's more of allowing it to come through.
Yeah, it comes from the soul's remembrance.
Soul's remembrance, yeah.
From different timelines. You can channel from just whatever feels good for you to bring it from. I channel from all over.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's Egypt, sometimes it's Lemuria,
Yeah.
sometimes it's Pleiades, Lyra. It
Norse.
just depends. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Esmeralda says, how does it feel when you get activated? Any special sensations or emotions? It's different for every
Yes.
person, but there is a lot of
Mhm.
sensations and emotion that happens. I remember what I was feeling when I got activated. I got emotional because I felt like finally I found what I was searching for years, which
The
is
missing
weird.
piece.
The missing
Mhm.
piece.
Mhm.
Very different for people. I've had people where they feel, all right, on to the next, or
Feels
oh, it
natural,
feels
feels
natural. are like they knew this was what gonna happen, so they're like, okay, so what's next for me? Then there's people that have to really allow it to just go through the process of healing and feeling that they're
Mhm.
finally activated.
Yeah, for some there's a lot of waves of emotion that follow. Um, as was said, everyone's different. So some
Yeah.
will feel within their body, some will feel emotionally, some will feel immense joy, immense love, or there is that shedding, that releasing, right?
Yeah.
As you feel like
Yeah.
you're kind of being cracked open. But
Yeah.
following an activation, something that I feel like it doesn't get spoken about as much is that generally once you have activated with your soul language, you will go through waves of emotion as you are shedding and
Yeah.
releasing. It brings up a lot of healing, a lot
Yeah.
of healing to be done.
Yeah.
But
Shadow
it's,
work is the main
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
it's life changing.
Because go ahead.
I've had people I've activated that after they they were speaking in that and really just fluently, and then after they had to go through their just shadow work healing process.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
sometimes that takes a while, sometimes that's like a week or two. It all varies with
Different for everyone.
Yeah, it's different for
Mhm.
everyone. That's why I always say there's no exact like end all be all for being activated, what dialect sounds. Everyone sounds different normally, so why would our
Yeah.
have to be
Erica's
this?
Erica's saying that sometimes it's your emotional body saying, I finally made it here.
Yeah,
And so because it's your mission, you'll get emotional too. I
Mhm.
know I experienced that because this was my mission. And so once I finally got to speaking, I knew that it was all finally the missing puzzle. So to speak.
that was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stacy says, I'm trying to understand why I have been so resistant. A lot of that is the mind.
That's fear.
It's
Yeah.
fear-based, but it's also the intentions or
Doubt.
the doubt and how you are perceiving yourself for being that.
You
That's
might
the
not
biggest
feel
thing.
deserving.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing during an activation is the getting in our head, like, what is that? I don't I don't know what that is, but then also it's like I don't feel I'm ready to be activated, or I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. All the doubt just
By the way, that's very
ruins it.
normal.
That's very normal.
Absolutely.
I feel like
Yeah.
every activation's like that. And then once you
Mhm.
kind of ease, I allow myself to be activated and then just
Mhm.
allow it to flow through.
And EFT tapping is something that you can do
I did
Oh,
that a
yes.
lot.
to assist with that. So if you're consciously having these questionable thoughts, fear-based thoughts, negative thoughts, what if I can't do this? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't come out for me? Use the process of EFT tapping to go through and speak those things, speak them out loud. But make sure that you're reaffirming with positivity and allow that energy to shift out. And then you can go back through and put in the positive programming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stacy said, could it be there's a lot of responsibility? Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are
So,
not ready for all that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Some people you kind of know what what's in store. I think that's kind of what I was, because the first thing when I found out about one of the first things was my mom told me, or I heard that I was going to be the only child of her that was in this field. So there's that pressure, like, oh, why am I the only one? But then
No, my
also,
oldest is in alignment, but not yet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you were like, you were going to be the first. And I'm like, oh, why am I the first? Like,
You're just contracted. It's a
yeah,
contract. Yeah.
we're entirely
There
contracted
are
for
contracts with our
Mhm.
with sometimes with our children. I know Tina's contracted with her children too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what was me. I felt like I found the missing puzzle piece that was underneath the couch for like a year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just, oh, that's where that
Connie says,
was.
if my light language is spoken with a Texas accent, I won't know what to think. But but that's the human way of looking at it. See, that's the consciousness of not
Mhm.
understanding the consciousness connection.
We all
That's
have,
that human way of responding. Yeah.
well, everyone here, we're on Earth and we all
Don't
have
worry about
different,
that, is what
yeah,
I assert.
yeah. We all have different dialects speaking English. Bernie's from the UK. She has her accent. If you're in New York, you have your
Yeah,
accent.
true.
Texas, Tennessee, Florida, California, any place around, you have a
What,
certain accent or dialect. If you're in
yeah,
Canada, you say certain things differently. It's anywhere using the same words. We all have different
money is
dialects.
energy. Absolutely. Money
Oh,
is energy
exactly.
too as well. And our services, energy costs, okay?
Yeah,
Because
Mhm.
it's not free, just like a doctor charges for their services, so do we.
yeah.
So if people come and tell you, oh, energy's free, that's not true
No.
because my
No.
time and my energy is not free. Okay.
But also,
Sometimes, like today, we are doing free. We also give valuable information for free
yeah.
into the group.
I always
So,
Mhm.
tell people to
yeah.
view my live. I'm like, you can pick up off of, and then the people who do, they're just like, thank you. You're
Yeah.
so knowledgeable. I'm like, I
Absolutely.
thank you. I didn't think I was that knowledgeable in this. But
Well, absolutely. And money in general, money is an energy. And the same
yeah,
with any kind of
The tool.
energy. You are going to align with the things that you resonate with
Mhm.
energetically.
Yeah.
And money is an energy. And the connotation of it in your life is going to have to do with the energy that you put into it. Do you love money? Do you hate money? Are you afraid of money? Do you
Yeah.
feel lack regarding money?
Are you not deserving? You know, a
mm,
lot
Exactly.
of people don't think they're deserving of it. We do.
Mhm.
yeah.
It all has to do with the energy that you put into it. And as Deb
Yeah.
said, our energy isn't free always, right? Think
Yeah.
They
about this.
said to
If
value
you
yourself, value yourself.
right,
That's,
if you just didn't go to
Mhm.
sleep for weeks at a time, would your energy still freely keep coming?
No.
No. No. So
No,
energy's not free. It's
right.
not
It's
free.
not. If you decide that you want to do something for free, that's your choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. But when
And it's
people
about
expect things for free, that comes from not understanding or valuing somebody else's energy.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a trigger for me, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
People
I get triggered
question
too.
what we charge because we understand the value of what we're bringing energetically to the table, and it's life changing
And
when
it's
you know it's
also
activated.
like you're paying for the guarantee or like the experience too.
Mhm.
Like we've all activated people, done readings for this long. If it's you're paying for the service, but also it's like the experience. Somebody's gonna pay somebody who's been doing it for doing their job for 10 years more than the
Mhm.
person who just
Mhm.
started. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with energy work too. People that are more well known and known for their service
Mhm.
should be paid more.
Not just that, but sometimes people don't value your free stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
So people, when you
No.
put an amount on it, you're saying, this is how much I charge because this is the value of it. Okay.
hmm
Right.
I agree with what she's saying, charity giving. I give a lot, trust
yeah,
me. I
So
give
do I.
back a lot energetically, and
Mhm.
it always comes back in some way or form.
Mhm.
definitely.
But there's also what you're bringing to the table has to have some sort of value energetically. And so that is why we charge.
Yeah,
You know,
Mhm.
that's why everybody charge. Trust me, I wish we didn't have monetary to have to do these things to
I know.
survive, you know. But this is a job for me. This is what I
Mhm.
do for a living. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
obviously getting paid is how, you know, and that, but
survive.
it's accordance to my contract.
Yeah,
And they're saying the energy exchange is because I'm helping others to align to their contracts. So
Mhm.
I guess
yeah,
it's just how you look at it. And
Mhm.
people, if they're not in alignment with it, they're not in alignment with the group or understanding what and to value people's
I
energy.
know, but I always find those people are like kind of in attacking mode, and they're not in
Yeah, they're just
receiving,
not there yet.
because
understanding.
they never is like, I just don't believe you should be charging. It's never like calm, like it's always like, how dare you call yourself a
Yeah,
spiritualist or an energy worker and do that? It's like,
because
why
it's
are you
coming from a
attacking
place
me
of
from that?
judgment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Because it's coming from a place of
Judgment,
judgment.
exactly, which is
yeah,
fear, which is
yeah,
fear.
Which is
yeah.
fear.
Oh, Jen Rack said, thank
Thank
you
you,
for the
Jamie.
live today. I got activated with my light language yesterday and it's so helpful. Oh, you're so welcome.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us. We love doing this. We love connecting with you and answering your questions and just hanging
Yeah,
out.
that's what this is for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Connie
you,
says, my
Jamie.
hesitancy comes from the responsibility that comes with activation. Yeah, it really is. Make sure you're prepared because it is a responsibility, but I'm going to tell you it's life-changing for the better. You're going to break down the illusion, really,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
see truth for what it is, and on a consciousness level. And it's hard to explain it to people that aren't activated,
Right.
what that feels like. You have to get activated to understand that connection. Yeah.
And
thank
and along with that, keep in mind that the only responsibility that comes along with that is to yourself. Because
Yep.
just because you become activated and start using it doesn't mean you have to go live tomorrow and start using it. You don't have
No,
to go
exactly.
activate other people. Some people are contracted, like all of us sitting here, we are all contracted
yeah,
Yeah.
to publicly share our codes and activations. But not everyone is, and there is also free will. So just keep in
Yeah.
mind that, as in everything, no matter what stage of your journey you're in, your greatest responsibility is to yourself. And whether you're activated or not, do you still need to check in with your own energy
Yeah.
and nap and sleep and drink and eat?
yeah,
You know,
Eric said, but the fact that you're here watching us, there's a reason.
right.
yeah.
And if you
Um,
were asking how to get activated, everyone here activates.
yeah. I
So
would reach out to who you align
yeah,
with, who you feel that connection towards. And we're all certified activators and activated before. Mainly
not
it's
that
who
you
you're
need to be certified, not
you
that you
don't
need to be
need to,
certified.
but
It's
it's
just the
mainly a be
human.
aligned.
The human wants to know you've done the work and you have the understanding of activating and soul language in general,
Yeah,
what it's used for, being confident with your modality and how you
yeah.
activate. And everybody does it differently. So
Everyone's different. But mainly it's the connection. It's who you vibe with that does activations, because you're not going to have some random person activate. But if
Yeah,
and
somebody's
Tanya
in this that
said, how do
activates,
I know if I'm contracted? You'll feel it. You'll
you'll
feel the
feel it.
connection to
exactly what
it.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Like
If
a
you
magnetic
You
feel,
want to be
pull.
activated? I
yeah,
I told Esmeralda that she was going to get activated.
Yeah,
if
if it's in her, it's definitely in your contract, sweetie.
Yeah,
if you feel contracted to be activated by someone, you will just be magnetically gravitated towards that person.
yeah,
You'll know. And if you are not contracted to be activated by another, it will come, as long as
yeah.
you're in a place of allowance and knowing that you are on the right path and you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and Connie's saying if the activation is anything like my healing gifts, people will be drawn to me. Boundaries will become more important. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that just comes with the process.
Yeah.
But try and lean into it with love rather than fear, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay, and just open your heart up to seeing that it's going to value your own awakening.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can't tell you what to do. It's all free will, right?
Yeah.
So sit with yourself and see if it's something you want to do. There is no hurry, Eric said. Just, feeling into it. And when you're ready, you'll know.
See, that's because you're contracted.
Yeah,
See,
no, I
so
know
we
she's,
all keep
yeah, you
popping
can
up on
feel
my
it.
feed. Well, that's because you're
Yeah.
contracted.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I
You're
teach
meant
a
to-
course along with Seth, and Tina and I also teach like a beginner channeling course. So you guys are welcome to check those things out too.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about light language, we have a light language course called the Light Language Awakening Activator Certification Course, and it comes with 25 dialect attunements, learn at your own pace. You get a private group for practice on Facebook and up to 6 months to a year of practice.
And
But it starts when
mentorship.
you start. So you have plenty of time to practice and understand and get the understanding, especially if you're just activated. It's very valuable because you're going to go through certain stages with light language, but it's there and available for people that feel gravitated to it. The star seed is about like awakening your understanding about your clairs, awakening to your own unique abilities and opening up that channel aspect as far as messages, how to receive, how to read energy, understanding about the different clairs. We do a lot of group stuff right now in that particular course. And it just gets you more comfortable with your own abilities. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tiani.
Yeah, thank you too. Dia tutu.
Exactly. She said,
Yeah.
practice unconditional love is all the boundaries. Exactly. If you
Yeah.
lean into everything with fear, then that's the experience you're going to
Mhm.
have. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Change your perception of it and you'll have a better experience.
Yeah.
That's how I view it. Mm.
You
Okay.
can try to view things with neutrality
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
rather than oh, this is good, this is bad, right?
Mm,
From a place of neutrality without judgment.
what it
That will
is.
help you to step away from fear and into love.
Oh, Tiani, I want your book for my granddaughter. So you need to tell me how I can get that. She has a high vibrational book for children's book.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love that.
Yeah. So Tiani, but I can't remember is it shamanichealing.com? I can't wait to, I
Shamanic
want
dreaming, I think. Is that correct?
shamanic dreaming maybe?
T.
You guys
Put
facilitate.
it down, T, put it down in the comments. I want to get it for Emery. I want to have it for here.
Oh, that's a great question, Esmeralda. You can we are all healers as well, and you can utilize light language as a holistic healing modality and
Oh, absolutely.
bringing forth healing with light. And it's
Mhm.
more of setting the intention and allowing the light language to clear energy and we have
All
to transmute
intent.
it out. It's all
It's all
intent.
intent.
You
Mhm.
can almost do anything. But yes, that's a great question. We haven't had that with the healings through light language.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Lori.
use light language in all of my healing sessions.
Yeah.
I use light language to heal myself, my
Mhm.
children, my
I
household.
can't help but speak it. I mean, I'm always
It's just, yeah, it just comes out.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it's gonna be there. If I'm there, it's there.
Mhm.
You know, it's gonna be there because it's a part of me.
Yes,
Sharmic
please,
dreaming,
Sonic dreaming. Okay.
please.
what
Okay.
Tina said.
Okay. Yeah, I want to purchase it. So can you send it in my messenger so I can, that makes it easy for me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine.
Awesome. Then I
So
can
proud of
We
complete
you.
my
love you,
healing journey.
Lorraine.
We
Yeah,
love
thank
you.
you.
Mhm.
Then you can complete your healing journey. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
complements.
Esmeralda, I do a lot of I truly believe that everyone that is an energetic healer by nature, or an activator by nature, or both, or all of it, I believe that everyone will start to channel and inform their own modalities of healing. And so
Yeah.
there
Exactly.
really there's no rule to it. It's whatever comes up for you. So
Intuitive.
I do a lot of what
Mhm.
I call energy weaving, where I will just pull the coding in, and it's like encoding and embedding, and I'll place it in the body where it needs to be, and
Yeah.
then move it using whatever elements it's meant to.
Yeah.
We all use encoding and embedding and activating in the way that resonates the best for us. So
Yeah.
absolutely, um, the using soul language, light language is a form of frequency healing. 100%.
It is. Frequency healing is what it is.
It is. It is. And it's a very fluid.
Sometimes it can come in form of, like Tina was saying, activations, and
Mhm.
sometimes it comes in through a transmission, which is a message. And
Yeah.
that is why the channeling aspect is so important. you know.
Absolutely. But sometimes the healing is in the message, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes somebody
Yeah,
has something
exactly.
that we just need to hear and it hits us
Mm-hmm.
in the feels or it makes something click for us, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes the healing is in the message itself.
Stephanie, I was sent to
I listened to a live last month of Seth. I had never heard about any of your site. It just said you are invited, and I hadn't ever been to the page before. Oh, wow. That's
wow.
interesting.
Well, that's
Well,
with me
welcome.
tagging people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's with me tagging everyone.
You must have been in the group at some point for you to
Yeah.
receive the tag. Maybe you just weren't
Mhm.
aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica,
But
absolutely.
thank you.
Will playing and toning with crystal singing bowls help me receive light language? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The most important part of that is setting your intention.
Yeah.
Okay, so as
Yeah.
you're playing and toning with your crystal singing bowl, set the intention. I am in a place to receive light
Mhm.
language. I am in a place to receive. I am in allowance. So
Mhm.
setting
What
the
do you want
intention.
too? What do you want in those light codes too?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Ask for specifics for yourself.
definitely.
Like, what do you want? What
Mhm.
type of codes do you want? What do you want it to enhance? So if you think of this as a computer that needs new software, that's
Upgrades.
basically what the codes do. It gives you upgrades and expansions. So be very specific on what you're asking for. What type of light codes do you want?
Exactly.
And sometimes you get an update for something later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where you get it,
Sometimes
you're
it's
just
the
like, what the heck?
collective
Yeah.
shift too, as well. We're
Mhm.
receiving through collective humanity as a collective shifts, and we receive, like, the eclipse that we had was a huge activation and an awakening, planetary alignment.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, we're consistently, Erica's saying we're consistently receiving activations and coding. You
Yeah.
might not understand that yet, but you are receiving. Yeah.
Sometimes it just feels more amplified than others, and those may be the moments
Yeah.
where it's coming in more strongly, or it's something that you are meant to consciously acknowledge is happening at that time.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
so true,
sometimes you,
C.
like
That's
Steve
You have to
said, you have
release
to
to receive.
release. Very,
Well, you
very
have to
important.
make room or have room in order to receive. So that's why
Mhm.
releasing happens. I had the thing, I forgot what it was. I think I called it the 3 R's: release, receive, recharge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would
So
you
be ready for that. Definitely. Thank you
Okay.
guys.
I feel like we're stopping with the questions now, and I feel like we need to do a clearing. That's what's coming through right now.
Do this.
So we're gonna take turns at clearing the energy for everyone that is on the live
Alrighty.
and aligning us. So just be in a place of receiving.
Is there an order we want to go in, or are we just allowing?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm starting and I'm already
Yeah, you're
feeling
already
it.
starting.
And then you guys can kind of, maybe Tina and then Seth.
Yeah, I'll end it. I heard I was gonna end it.
Beth and I are both like, we're just here. We just do.
If I cough, it's just form of transmuting energy, breathing, breath work, but I'm really feeling it. So it needs.
Masbakt urkara reinia kut urai na shakua ya sakua wah wah wah. Nya ha wah 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 wah. Ya ya na ha wah 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 wah. Miar, patakut. Tabiri im iskara at get arkat utukit and utoribiat and arkat yashkut ukit. Miat I arakat untuk tuti abi aba boy bi bai bi baruto toria bai. Wow 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 nya. Wow 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 ya wow 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 wow.
Yandi olido, si ali ali dia ali do so, pai ali ali do, dandi si ali do, ai ali di, si ali do suko, di ali do, ki apai o do, di si ali do, suko ali di apai o do, kai. Andi ali tu suku ali di si ali tu papai ali di ali tu kuyo di ali dia ni si o ai di ali tu di ali di si o ai di ali tu si ai di si o ai di papai su ai di ali tu di ali di si ali tu di papai na itu dia ali tu dia papai o dia ali tu di si ali tu ko ali ali tu sandi ali tu dia
Bea hea he. Andorora hoai ai 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 andu. I andorere ribi ushandore ribe a kupu pe e kuka shati a sorode. Rambo parai. Palalo pi a sote shi fukando speleli a tuseti a sotushi ayaya. Palali I ando spedidi shi fuketi. A sotere bi ulala mali. I ando speceti a stu. Randa arandu balalo ki a sedidi.
Asakusuya hanaya shatai ia wakuya ya nyanyanai kuya ya mihawakuya ya sandai ia saya satushutoya nia harundurai nia kuya wa masakusaya ndasati ia shakuya waho anaya sai miakurandari ia ya satusha miakusaya nasati Nyurari, miundurai, yosura. Yakundaya satai shiaya wahua. Niasundu sutushuya. Niakusaya nasai. Maspakurati ashatutuya.
Landi alitus ua di alitia poa dia tus ua Diali tu squa. Diali tu squa. Dialia bali tu squa. Disirali de kia ro tu qua. Diamaya li dura. Che ti sikiari tura tiatai. Bordia nia torta. Burka di sure turandai a porca e tu. Di shorn di a capai nu turcura, di siaritura, chi apai sundura, di rakina orca, e di si alituba, di aritirco, sudoti, di cura, di a papa isura carti, andi accortura, di. Su tia 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 po tia 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 pai o tia tia ya tu su ya tia ya tia ti tu kia li ti si ya ti o tu tia pai o tu si ya ti nia li pu tia li si ia pu ti si ya li tia li tu. Ia papa ia ti sia li tu ia li ti sia pai ti ali tu ti sia papa ia ti dia li tu aki papa ia tu ia ti sia li tu ati dan dia li tu sia te kia papa ia pai tu ti. Tiole, papaya tu, takia ti, sia li tu, aya ti, saya li tu, ke tia papaya li tu, tandi.
Papai, via poruto tuia, ritiri, kukukukukuku, nia saturaya, shakukukukuia, ya rambabi, nia sakuku, karapapapapai, via sanduruturi, nia kuku, kukukukuku.
Seth, you can feel it coming, can't you?
Ai, to. Isi dia papa itu te eti taito suto te eti taiko te va aito to te itai popo se te papa e pai to andi radi ate adria ti te ai li te ai ti papa otso to te ti radi a papa e papai suto te ete re papa e papai to to
Kukukukuia, rai. Ana, me venga, yo te digo.
Ooh, wow.
oh, whew.
Unexpected fairies.
They should always be expected, but
Yeah.
I know.
they were unexpected.
Ooh, that really helped though.
Ugh.
That was, I was
Yeah.
feeling kind of yucky for a bit.
Mhm.
Yitty, papa, poo. Yitty.
Thank you
There
all
was-
for
Ugh. Sorry.
staying through all of this.
Yeah.